Alright, ladies and gents, it's all gone downhill in the last 36 hours. And by downhill, I obviously mean for the establishment. The people have got the bit between the teeth about the Henry Novak murder, and it's not looking good for them. I don't think we're going to roll over and take this one lying down. There's a lot more details come out, including this one. This alleges that 3 female police officers responded to the scene, and that's why they don't want to release the body cam footage. We've also had a shocking mealy-mouthed statement from the chief of police, and yeah, there's a few more details to talk about. So I'm going to cover all that and do a quick roundup of events if you're lucky enough to never spend any time in the festering shit pit that we call social media. I always start with a gag though, and here's a fantastic video that will suffice for an opening joke fest, because coincidentally there is footage going viral today of a different 3 police women trying to apprehend a suspect. And as you might expect, it's comedy gold, because we don't hire 6'3" paratroopers anymore. We hire little fat women with arms like twiglets who'd be out of breath trying to open the fridge door for a midnight snack. So let's have a look at it, because it might give us some clues as to how the Henry Novak incident went down. Perhaps it'll give us, some combat indicators. It'll allude to their competence as police officers, for example. Dapper Dan covered this one. 3 female police officers walk up to a man sitting on a barrier and tell him he's under arrest. I think we all know how this is going to go down, don't we? Get the popcorn, lads.
You looking for someone?
Yeah.
You looking for?
Sharif, is it?
No.
Sharif? I don't believe we've met. My name's Jen. I'm the local sergeant here. You alright?
We're looking for you, Sharif. So time is 14:58. I'm arresting suspicion of robbery. Okay, so you don't have to say anything. It may harm defence if you're not making an attention. Something which you may rely on court. Anything you do, say no. Okay. Just stay there with me.
No, I'm cool.
Firearm. Can you?
I should have put Benny Hill music over it, shouldn't I? That would have completed the video for me. Yeah, this is what we're dealing with. This is what happens when you get rid of the meritocracy. No wonder the streets aren't safe. I could have got away from those useless 3 women coppers if I was chained to Stephen Hawking. Right, and it just keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better. All the ducks are landing in a row for this to be the perfect storm, because breaking, as I just sat down to make this video, is Sky News has reported that Mighty Mo Ahmad and Mighty Mo Ahmad they keep talking about diversity. Can we have diversity in first names, please? I'm sick of saying that bloke's name. I must have said Mighty Mo more than any 50 practicing devotees in Mecca. Makes no sense to me. You never meet English kids called G-Boo, do you? It just doesn't happen. It's proper weird. Although, if rattling your relatives is normal, I suppose calling all 12 of your kids the same name's normal. Fair dues though. George Foreman did it, and he only had 3 or 4, didn't he? So maybe that's not as bad. Anyway, the 2 Moors have been cleared over the alleged assault of a male police officer at Manchester Airport. 2 juries failed to reach a verdict because the jury was packed with regulars at that marvellous snack bar they're always shouting about. So here we are. This is the brave new world we've created. Far from it being a strength, diversity creates a society where you can, I've had to freeze this because if you show the video on YouTube, that they'll instantly take your video down. I've had to freeze this as he's sucker punching by throwing an over-the-shoulder haymaker into the back of a copper's head. And that's the copper they've been cleared of assaulting. Yeah, HD footage and 200 witnesses. And again, so at least, you've got to take some schadenfreude and some amusement from it. At least they're brutalising us, the people, and they're brutalising the coppers. You know what I mean? If they start giving judges and left-wing activists and eco-warriors haymakers, at least we're all in the misery together. It's a bit more irritating for us, isn't it? Because we weren't thick enough to promote all this gobbledygook. That's why we live in a totally dysfunctional society, and that's why we live in a two-tier, brazenly, painfully, obviously two-tier society, where blokes who look like that, a human parrot hybrid, with a facial adornment clearly the result of far too much inbreeding, resulting in a human dolphin island of Dr. Moreau thing, throwing punches into the back of a copper's head, and then the bloke doing the punching walks. I love it. So not guilty despite the haymaker. That's the cherry on top, isn't it? Now, what was I supposed to be talking about? Keir Starmer is warbling on about everything but Henry Novak. He will not mention him. Took a knee for a foreign smackhead who died because of a drug overdose. Him and the ginger growler. Oh, hang on, I owe you one.
Ha! Gay!
The Prime Minister and the ginger growler have talked about everything but Henry Novak, and he's talking about the Russians and the Romanians. Oh yeah, loads of interesting stuff there. Won't address the massive neon elephant in the room though, will he? I think what's most offensive about it as well is the way he responded to the riots, the Southport riots, because I talked to Sam about that. It was like RoboCop. He went on the telly and he was hardcore, jabbing his finger. If you did anything, we will remand you, we will lock you up, we won't have it. He's happy to march through the streets like Ed 209 when he's dealing with the white working classes, but he won't say a single word when one of them gets murdered like an animal and his entire family collude to make it happen, and so he gets away with it. And 3 apparently totally useless portly policewomen don't even administer the stab victim first aid because the murderer was impolite enough to be slightly dishonest with them. because that's what they've said. Oh, this is where we get to the best bit. I'm not going to play you the full statement because it'll make me annoyed and I'll throw my monitor out the window, but there's a very salient 15 seconds that are worth listening to here because it just about sums up the incompetence and stupidity of the British Bobby. Listen to this. Bear in mind you're talking about criminals. Essentially what this silly fat dwarf says is, I can't believe criminals tell lies.
Sorry that Henry's life couldn't be saved that night, and I'm sorry that he was handcuffed and arrested in the moments before he lost consciousness. When his killer made that call to police, and he called the police, not the ambulance service, he lied on that call. He lied when police attended the scene. He continued to lie as Henry's condition deteriorated. I'm sorry that he was handcuffed and arrested.
There you go. He lied. He lied. Heaven forbid murderers tell people lies. Why would they do such an evil deed? Well, happy to do a bit of murdering as well, but, they should still be honest about it. This is why commentators and journalists like Peter Hitchens have made the argument that we need to have capital punishment. Because if you don't have that, people who do other crimes commit murder to get away with them. All criminals lie, all of them, even a shoplifter or a burglar, because criminals don't care about the law. They certainly don't care about telling lies. So many of them probably do commit murder because, someone might find out they've been embezzling, find out they've done something wrong, find out they've diddled a 12-year-old above a kebab shop while the coppers and the MPs laughed about it. So then they'll kill someone to stop them talking about it. And that's why you need to have a harsher punishment for the ultimate crime, which is ending someone's life, which is what Axel Rudu Kanubu did. And then the Prime Minister got angry at you for being upset about it. So this is a perfect storm of abject stupidity. You couldn't make it up. The UK is like a third world country. And I'm sure you all need to know the details now, so I'm not going to bore you. I've said my 2 piece. If someone that's got a bit of a tan stabs you multiple times and then simply pulls out the race card when the coppers turn up, the coppers will treat the victim as the aggressor. That's what's happened. And we've been talking about this brazen, blatant two-tier justice ever since we found out that foreign men were allowed to bang 50 kids like a barn door in a hurricane, and the coppers and the politicians and the lawyers and the activists wouldn't do anything about it. This is what everyone was saying. Of course it's 2T justice. If a big gang of white lads were doing this on an industrial scale to little brown girls, they'd get arrested and locked up within 2 days of anyone hearing about it. So again, it's just annoying that it's took Henry's life being ended to bring it really furiously raging back again into the public sphere, but long may it continue. To sum up, just remember where you're living and what's happening. I'm not often serious, but I will be now. The government is against you. If you don't keep your head on a swivel, train, keep fit, always stay alert. I wouldn't even wear headphones if I was on public transport in the UK now. You need to keep your head on a swivel, you need to be paranoid, you need to be aware that the police and the government are dead set against you and will assist angry foreign men in hurting, robbing and occasionally killing you. And you do not live in a safe country, you live in a third world multi-culty hellscape, and everyone in it is dead set against you. From the lowliest dinghy diver to the highest judge in the land, to the Prime Minister himself, to the Home Secretary who shares the same religious ideology as every suicide bomber that's ran into a public place with a hissing backpack in the UK for the last 30 years, since time immemorial. You didn't see the IRA doing it, did you? So remember, stay fit, stay focused, stay paranoid, and maybe you'll get out of this hellscape alive. But that's just my 2 cents. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll be doing a stream today, so I'll see you all there. All right, thanks for tuning in. Doodle pip. Cheers.